Hello, this is Adolf. Welcome to the video lecture series on the course of building construction. So we already started and we are moving on into the unit number 2, that is construction of substructure. In the previous video lecture, we started with the earthwork and we saw the excavation for foundation and timbering and strutting. And under the timbering and strutting, we covered the two methods. So in this video lecture, we are going to see the remaining methods in timbering and strutting for foundation trench, excavation for embankment, and what are the materials used for plinth filling, and tools and plans used for excavation of earthwork. So let's start where we left. So the third method in timbering and strutting for foundation trenches, vertical sheeting. This vertical sheeting is adopted for deep trenches up to 10 meter in depth in soft ground. This method is similar to the box sheeting, except the excavation is carried out in stages. And at the end of each stage, an offset is provided so that the width of the trench goes on decreasing as the depth increases. See here, this width decreases when depth increases. Each stage is limited to about 3 meter in height, and offset can vary from 25 to 30 centimeter per stage. So the height will be 3 meter, and the offset, this will be 25 to 50 centimeter. So here same height will come, 3 meter depth. For each stage, separate vertical sheeting supported by horizontal veiling and struts are provided to keep them in position. The sides of the trenches should be in position. So this is the vertical sheeting. The next method is runner system. This runner system is used in extremely loose and soft ground. This extremely loose and soft ground needs immediate support as excavation progresses. So it cannot withstand once the excavation is started. So we need support to do it, to withstand the sides of the trenches. The system is similar to the vertical sheeting of box system, except that in the place of vertical sheeting, the runners are made of long stick wooden sheets or planks with iron shoe at the ends. So this is same as the vertical sheeting, but at the end we will have iron shoe. So that's a difference. And the vails and studs are provided as usual in the vertical system. These runners are driven up to 30 centimeter in advance of the work by hammering. So we cannot, we have to insert a 30 centimeter at least before we are going to excavate. Where we are going to excavate, we have to insert in advance. Okay, this is the runner system. And the last method is sheet piling. So as you've seen in the diagram, so these sheets are first inserted into the soil up to the depth, desired depth. Then we will remove the soil from the ground. So the sides will be supported, and it won't be fall against the trenches. So this method is adopted as follows, where we can adopt this method. When the soil to be excavated is soft or loose, we will go for this method, and the depth of the excavation is large, and when the width of the trench is large, and when there is a subsoil water is presented, we will use this sheet piles. These sheet piles are used to resist the lateral earth pressure, and these are driven in ground by mechanical means. So here we are using the mechanical mission to driven this sheet. So it can be driven mechanically in the ground, and this sheet piling can also be used for excavating very large area, very large depth. For very large depth, we can use this sheet piling. So these are the methods we are used in timbering and strutting. Next, we will see the earthwork for embankment. So an embankment, as you see in the diagrams, it is a thick wall of earth. See here, these are all embankment. It is a thick wall of earth that is built to carry a roadways or railways, where we are using it over an area of low ground. Or we can use this embankment to prevent water from river or the sea from flooring the area. So these are the embankment. So how we can do the embankment means, first we have to cut and remove the earth from the borrow pit. Borrow pit is, so we cannot get the soil from this here. So we place some other place. If you are getting the soil from here, that is called borrow pit. Borrow pit, we are borrowing soil from that area. So we are cutting and removing the earth from the borrow pit, and we are transporting to this area and placing the soil in a fill in the form of an embankment. So this is the process how we can do. So when the formation level of a road is to be kept higher than the natural ground level, where also we can use the same embankment. Okay. The earthwork in embankment is carried out in the following steps. The first one is making profile of embankment. That means we have to keep the job profile, how we are going to, where we are going to excavate or where we are going to fill it, should be marked on the ground. That is making profile of embankment. So how we are going to do means, the profiles of the embankment are constructed with poles and strings. So this one is poles and this one is strings. By using it, we will we will take the levels on the ground, markings on the ground. These are constructed at 30-meter intervals for guiding labors. So from the distance between two poles is 30 meter. So if you are taking for ordinary embankment, 10% allowance for settlement is kept while making profiles. So if you are going for an ordinary, we have to take 10% allowance for settlement. So this is making the profile of embankment. Next is stripping and storing of topsoil. So once the markings are done on the topsoils, according to the marking, we have to remove the topsoil. That is called a stripping. So removal of topsoil, and we have to store that soil. So the topsoil of the site is stripped to the specified depth and stored at the suitable location. So this is the stripping and storing of the topsoil. Once the stripping and storing of topsoil is done, then we will constructing the embankment. So after the stripping and storing of the topsoil, the original ground is compacted by rolling with 8 to 10 ton roller. See this diagram? This is the roller which is compacting the soil. Like this, we will compact the original ground by using 8 to 10 ton rollers. So once the compaction is done, then the filling is started in layers. Layer by layer, we have to start the filling of the sand. That layer size should not exceed 250 mm, and we have to compact every layer with same compact rollers. Okay. These layers are kept slightly concave in shape. So concave in shape, the successive layer of the earth should be placed only when the previous layer thoroughly compacted. So once this layer is thoroughly compacted, then only we will use another layer. So this is the process of the earthwork in embankment and how we are constructing it. Then what are the materials we will use for the plinth filling? So this is the plinth beam. So we have to cover this area by filling. That is called the plinth filling. So if the plinth depth does not exceed 450 mm above the ground level, and if it is exposed to black cotton soil, then we have to completely remove the black cotton soil. Why? Because to avoid the uneven settlement. So if it is black cotton soil, we have to remove the black cotton soil to avoid the uneven settlement. In the process of plinth filling, watering and compaction should be carried out till the required level is reached, so as to form a thoroughly compacted base. So watering and compaction should be carried out to reach the level to form a thoroughly compacted base. The material for the plinth filling consists of hard muram and broken rubbles. These are the materials used for the plinth filling. On the compacted surface or the consolidated plinth filling, a concrete bed, once the plinth is filled and it is compacted to the leveled surface, a concrete bed of thickness 80 mm is done for laying the tile work. So this is the material for plinth filling and how we are to do the plinth filling. And next is, what are the tools and plans used for excavation of earthwork? So if you are going to do for a small building, so you are going to excavate by our hand, we need pickaxes, spade, cassie, hammer, rammer, we need line and pins to mark the marking on the ground, and iron pan to carry the soil. These are the equipments we needed if you are doing the excavation by hand. If you are going to do the excavation for a larger depth, then we need a mechanical movers. The first excavator is dragline excavator. This dragline excavator, as shown in the figure, is used for digging below operating level in the excavation. So if you cannot operate from certain level, below the certain level, we can use the dragliner excavator to excavate it. The next is back trench hoe excavator. So this we see in the nowadays, we are seeing this machinery, and we will say it is a JCP. So this is used for digging foundation trenches below the operating level. Last one is skimmer excavator. This skimmer excavator is used for surface excavation and the leveling. So these are the tools and plants used for excavation of earthwork. So by this, we completed our earthwork portion in the unit number 2. So in the earthwork portion, we started with the earthwork and the excavation of the foundation, and what are the methods in timbering and structuring for the foundation trenches, and we saw the earthwork for embankments, and what are the materials used for plinth filling, and what are the tools and plants used for excavation. Thank you.